Here we go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potatoes, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the grown in Idaho seal.
A dramatic pair of hostage raids in France leads to the killing of 3 terrorists, including the Kouachi brothers, who were trained in Yemen. At least one of them was. That's where they tried to meet with Anwar al-Awlaki.
So what exactly will the future of the war on terror look like if the United States keeps cutting and running? We're going to ask former Deputy Director of Intelligence for Operations at Special Operations Command Central, Frank Wuco. Sir, thank you for being with us. You've had over 3 decades of working in intelligence here. After seeing the bloodshed in Paris here and understanding that these 3 terrorists, in part, received training abroad with al-Qaeda, how do we prevent this from happening again, where their battleground training is there, and then they're taking it either back home, or now we're hearing with these warnings, potentially now to the West?
Well, sure, and thanks for having me. It's this whole scenario is playing out, Elizabeth, exactly the way that al-Qaeda planned it from the mid to late 90s, and that is a very decentralized organization that has bloomed into a global cellular jihad without a strong central authority. So now we've got this problem everywhere, and it doesn't matter. You can cut the head off the snake, you can take out different elements, and it keeps blooming. But it's going to take some very heavy action at the forward end of this problem to make a difference.
Absolutely. And Frank, one of the things it's going to take is leadership. There are many critics of the president who say, you know, he has not been a real hardliner on this, and he refuses to call it what it is. It's Islamic terrorism. What could the president of the United States do today to make it better?
Well, he could begin by recognizing what the problem is, Steve, and that is that it is an Islamic militantism problem. It is not an ideological problem. Soviet communism was an ideology. In the minds of this enemy, it is a theological problem. They are prepping the earth for the final judgment of God in their minds. It's very important for us to understand how they understand this and how they see it.
Sure. You know, Frank, I think what's so concerning to many Americans is that the incredible intelligence community did so well to keep our nation safe for a decade after 9/11, okay? Now we're understanding that many in that community feel as though their hands are tied. We see a demilitarization of our police department. How are we to then step up security when, in fact, this administration, as it seems, wants to just disarm those who serve to protect?
Well, it is tough, Elizabeth. And for instance, I used to provide some very in-depth training on the Islamic militant problem. And that type of training has all but disappeared under the current administration for reasons of political sensitivity. We've got to confront this problem as it is for what it is, and that is the way our enemies see it, as a spiritual conquest globally. And until we confront that and call it Islamic militantism, Islamic terrorism, we're going to keep ourselves 1, 2, 3 steps behind.
Plus, this administration needs to recognize what it is. It's a war against these terrorists instead of acting as if it's some sort of criminal activity, because it is not. Frank Wuco, we thank you very much for joining us. Special Operations Command Central vet. Sir, thank you very much for joining us this morning from Tampa.
We sure do. Thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
All right. Coming up on this Saturday, how do terrorists like these 4 become radicalized? Well, our next guest is one of the few who has gone undercover in a homegrown terror cell. He gives us a unique look inside.
This program is brought to you by the investment firm of Raymond James. Wealth management, banking, and capital markets. Learn more at lifewellplanned.com.
For fastidious librarian Emily Skinner, each day was fueled by thorough preparation for events to come. Well, somewhere along the way, Emily went right on living. But you see, with the help of her Raymond James financial advisor, she had planned for every eventuality, which meant she continued to have the means to live on, even at the ripe old age of 187. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
No pictures of trucks pulling boats. No photos of men working on ranches. Just a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel that gets 156 more miles per tank than the Ford F-150 EcoBoost. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com.
Patented sonic technology with up to 20